Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk about the Romans from Season 2 of Classic Doctor Who. This was a Patreon poll and YouTube member poll. It was actually the YouTube members that pushed this one over the edge and got it the win. I like the Romans a lot. It's one of my favorite First Doctor stories. I'm very fond of it. I'd only watched it the one time, though, so I was kind of curious. Will it hold up on a rewatch? I tend to like comedies. My two favorite movies of all time are both comedies. So I figured it would hold up, and it does. First off, I love this version of Nero. I always like the comedic, dumb, full of himself version of Nero, kind of like Dom DeLuise plays in History of the World Part 1. Or is it? Yes, that's what it is. And so I like the actor playing Nero here. He's really good at playing just that kind of comedic buffoon Nero. He does that very well. Just the stuff he does with his facial expressions sometimes, like when I have a surprise for you, guess, and the doctor guesses it about playing in the arena, and he's like, you guessed. Just, you know, it's like, it's basically he's playing this character that is a child that never had to grow up, because he always got handed everything, because he's the emperor. You know, he never got told no. So he's basically just a grown child who gets everything he wants and pouts when he doesn't, to the point to where he almost thinks about killing the doctor simply because he thinks the doctor got as much applause as he normally does. Which is interesting. I did love the doctor using the kind of Emperor's New Clothes style approach to his playing, with the, you know, only the refined ear can hear the plucks I'm plucking where he's pretending to play. And of course everyone is, oh yeah, it's so nice. I love that. I do love that. I love William Hartnell in this. I love all of the companions in this too. All three of them. The whole main cast is just fantastic in this. But just Hartnell, I love, once again, I love when someone playing the Doctor gets the fact that even though the Doctor doesn't have all of the facts, he never feels on the back foot. He never feels like he's panicking or that he's worried to the point to where it's affecting his demeanor. He always feels like he's in control of the situation. He never comes across as flustered or off kilter or on the back foot like certain doctors do. One particular doctor in particular has this bad habit of just constantly being on the back foot. I don't want to be mean and name which one it is, but she has a really, really bad habit of that. She does that a lot. Not that I'm going to name names or anything. But the first Doctor, Hartnell's really good at giving him this gravitas, that where when he's in the room, he's the center of your attention. And William Hartnell plays that really well here, that even when he's a little worried, like when the stuff catches on fire and he's a little nervous and concerned. But you'll notice as soon as the tables turn and he realizes Nero actually likes the idea it gave him, he's like, you heard him, or let us go, or it'll be the alligators for you. I love how quickly the Doctor adapts to the situation here, with everything going on around him, how he's constantly adapting to everything going on. I love Vicky's performance as well. I really like Vicky in this story. I love Ian and Barbara. You really get some tender moments with Ian and Barbara. And I very much can picture the fact that after they left the TARDIS, they probably did get married together, because they really do seem like they have that emotional attachment of people who are falling in love. The little tender moments they have before they get captured at the beginning when she makes the joke about the refrigerator, the little tender moments at the end of the story before they rejoin the Doctor and the TARDIS together. There's actually one scene when they kind of look back at each other. I think she's looking back at him like this. You almost expect them to kiss each other. So I really can. I don't think that's fan fiction to ship Ian and Barbara together. And I mean, Sarah Jane Adventures mentions the fact they're married. I see it. In this story, more than just about any of them, I see the connection between them, the romance between them. So it's easy for me to believe that they ended up getting married and having children. Matter of fact, one of my novels up there I just read, Face of the Enemy, they are married and they do have a child in it. So I really like that between them. I love William Russell's fight scene when him and the guy he's friends with are having to duel. Because 60s Doctor Who, a lot of times, the fight scenes are a little rough. Or just sometimes flat out naffed. Because they either look overly choreographed or they look like they didn't have time to choreograph it at all. And we know 60s Who was done on a really tight deadline, and a lot of times they didn't have time to redo takes. Like, I believe it's the mine robber when Wendy wanted to redo a take and they said no because they didn't have time. This fight scene between them is really good. You can tell William Russell has had sword training, fencing training, which I've found out since the first time I watched that. He did play Lancelot in a TV show. So yeah, I'm sure he had sword training, fencing training. And it shows here. Him and the other guy do a good job when they're battling back and forth. That's a really good fight scene. It's really good, especially when you think of for 60s Who, where again, the fight scenes are a little unconvincing, let's be honest. But I think it stacks up even with fight scenes in some of the later decades, because some of the later decade ones are better. But it was really good how fast they were moving and the moves they were making. I was really impressed. And I do like that scene when they turn on Nero and try to attack Nero and escape. That whole scene's just really good. And Nero stabbing the one guard he didn't fight hard enough. Again, feels very in character with this depiction of Nero, which I really like. And then just Jacqueline Hill has to run the gauntlet of emotions in this story, because she has to be happy and enjoyable. She has to be nervous and frightened. She has to be daring in places. She has to go through a lot of stuff. And she does a lot just with her face, the looks and the little darts of her eyes at times. She's doing a lot with her facial expressions and her body language in this, which is very impressive. But her dialogue and the way she's doing her dialogue is very well done. So just all of the main cast are putting in good performances. I like the guest cast, like the main slave trader. He's good. He's a little two-dimensional, but he's good. The bald guy, the one that actually has the cross on we see at the end, and we find out that's kind of why he is the way he is he's one of the early adopters of Christianity at this time. Which is an interesting twist I don't think you see coming the first time. You really don't know what this guy's deal is until the end of the story when he's holding the cross. I like the actor playing him, though. He just has this serenity to him, just this calm to him that I really like. The actress playing Nero's wife, oh, she's good. You just hate this woman. You can tell that her and Nero are kind of a perfect fit for each other, because she is greedy and self-centered and willing to kill Barbara just because she tells Barbara, I like being empress, so don't get any ideas. And even though Barbara has no ideas of it, this woman's not taking chances. She likes being empress. The actress playing that gets that point across very well. I love the comedic bits of this story. This story is very much a comedy. I love comedies. And I like the fact this could be the first time Doctor Who really did an intentional comedy, and it comes across very well. I love the bit when the Doctor knows that Nero wants to feed him to the lions, so he's kind of slyly telling him when he's like, yes, we should give them something they can really sink their teeth into. And Nero's like, but I told no one. I love that scene. The way the guy playing Nero's playing it and the way Hartnell's playing it. The fact that the fire started because of Hartnell's glasses accidentally catching the maps on fire. And I like how Nero goes from the fool, traitor, barbarian, the actor again doing a good job, to where he realizes he gets his mask into emergency. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. I'll give you rich. I'll make you rich. I'll give you treasure. It's a good performance. I love that the Doctor and Vicky are kind of basically one team in this, and Ian and Barbara are the other team in this, and how they just keep barely missing each other. Just barely missing each other. The whole story, one team doesn't even realize the other team is right there next to them, because they almost keep running into each other and just barely keep missing each other the whole story. That's hilarious to me. Absolutely hilarious. I like the scene when Nero's chasing poor Barbara. Because that kind of thing's funny. It's got that very Pepe Le Pew feel to it, which is just funny. And again, the guy playing Nero and Jacqueline Hill sell that part really well. And how when his wife comes in, he's just like, oh, hello, dear. I had so much fun with this story. Just like I did the first time. I had so much fun with it. And then I enjoy the fact that here, kind of at the beginning of the story, and basically right there at the end, you get to see the TARDIS team just kind of relaxing and enjoying themselves, knowing they had spent 3 or 4 weeks just kind of chilling out at this house, which is totally not their house, and they're just crashing there. I love that. And they've just been relaxing on vacation and, Basically taking a vacation. I like that. I like that we got a little bit of this in the story before things picked up. And I do love the scene when Barbara tries to pick up the vase and knock out one of their assailants. In fact, she accidentally hits Ian over the head with it instead. It's hilarious. And then when she accidentally admits to it later and he's like, you hit me, and he starts kind of chasing her around the couch. Also, when I was talking about just their kind of flirting that they have in this story, I love when she's fixing his hair. The bit when she's kind of combing his hair. It really does have that tender, hey, I like you moment between them that I don't think most episodes touch on as much as this one does, and I really enjoyed that. I love the romance. It's one of my favorite stories. It's hilarious. It's fun. If I had to sum it up in one word, it's fun. It's funny and it's fun. And you can't have funny without fun. So, I really enjoyed it. I want to know what you think of the Romans. Comment down below and let's talk about it. Again, this was a Patreon YouTube member vote, actually. This was voted on by my patrons and YouTube members. If you would like to vote in stories that I do reviews on, check out my Patreon. It's down, link to it's down in the description below. Several different tiers there to choose from. I want to give a shout out to a couple of my top tier patrons, Colin Coney and Sam Venning. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. It's very much appreciated. I also have a P.O. box. If there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review, link to my Amazon wish list is down there. Link to my Amazon UK wish list is also down there. I update those regularly. Most importantly, thank you for watching.